what's up you guys? You're watching Team APS. I'm with Trell. In today's video, we're gonna be talking a little bit about luck in Yu-Gi-Oh! Or lack thereof. Everyone says, Yu-Gi-Oh's a game of chance, luck of the draw, you sacked me, you got lucky, you got a good top deck, whatever. He doesn't believe in luck, actually. As like a worldview, right? Like you're not really a big proponent of the whole idea of like,
luck,
you got
superstition,
lucky.
that's just not my thing at all.
To be honest, neither am I. So, I kind of want to like disprove this. I was watching a video the other day about like, luck in fighting games, like random elements and stuff, like what you can control, what you can prepare for. I mean, if you're running like a coin flip or dice roll deck, sure, but that's not, right? Like no one's running those.
That's not the case, yeah.
So, let's talk about the elephant in the room. People who say bricky hands or, a broken, busted hand.
It's not a luck thing. It's strictly, it's rationale. It's how you built your deck. I mean, if you build 40 cards and you know some of these cards don't interact well with others, then it's possible that you're going to draw them together and it's going to be shitty. It's not luck. The luck of the draw, whatever you guys call it, it's not in the YouTube.
It's not, yeah, it's not part of the cards.
Yeah, it's none of that.
And the reason really why is because these are strictly numbers, right?
Yeah.
You have a 40 card deck, or however many cards. We'll say you have a 40 card deck and you have set ratios in it. The likelihood of drawing cards is like directly related to how many copies you play and how many cards you're drawing and like your opening hand. There are posts that like mathematically break this down. Like if you run X copies of a card, these are your chances of drawing on your opening hand. There's no like luck involved. It's not like, just sort of some Yu-Gi-Oh entity says you get to draw it or not. It's just kind of like,
40 cards thrown together and let's see what happens. It's none of that.
So I think that kind of debunks the excuse then that people have when they're like, I got sacked. I got, my opponent top deck say Raigeki. Not that great of a card right now, but in general, right?
Like back in the day when somebody would top deck a Judgment Dragon. Like top deck in JD was sacking. That's why they call it sack swarm. Let's be real. But
I would argue that if you lose to something like a top deck Dark Hole, it's actually your fault. It's not just a strictly lucky thing. You knew that was a possibility, right?
Yeah, it's a legal card in the game. They could draw it, and the less cards they have, the higher chance they have of getting to that card. So like, people take steps to minimize it too, right? Yeah. Like, it's not just my opponent might top deck Raigeki, I guess I'll ignore it. People make the conscious decision to play cards that aren't affected by Raigeki or flow. They can counter it, whatever.
Or that's why you run things like Solemn Strike, so that when your opponent does top deck the Terror Top or the Judgment Dragon or the whatever could change the game, that's how it goes.
Stop it.
What? Oh, go ahead.
No, and that's another thing that comes along with why we have what's called a meta. A meta is formed by the type of thing. A meta is not formed by luck. A meta is formed by a meta is formed by something being tried and true. And everybody knows the number one thing in Yu-Gi-Oh is the word consistency.
Right.
And there's no such thing as luck and consistency. Those two don't go hand in hand. So that's why we have a meta, because these decks have proven to be powerful and consistent because they work well together. Not luckily, but because they were actually built and tested that way. Yeah,
and I think, when people kind of sort of say like, oh, this deck, like it wins because it got lucky. I guess on the opposite end, when you take a gimmicky deck, like let's say
a gimmicky deck.
Sorry, Calvin. Gym Knights. A deck that like, it can OTK you and go crazy, but like it has to draw like one of the copies of its cards. And so you might say if you lose to it, they got lucky. But the truth is, it's not really that they got lucky. They just got the fortunate small chance that they open with like say Gym Knight Fusion.
Yeah, Fusion of Brilliance.
It's not really that they were lucky. It's just that the math worked out in their favor. It won't work out in their favor in the long run. That's why people don't run these decks at regionals.
Right, that's why it's not part of the meta.
Yeah, that's why it's not part of the meta. I think that's a really great point, actually. Just the fact that the meta is formed literally by kind of what decks take the least amount of luck into their opening hand.
Optimization, that's how the meta's formed, by optimization, basically.
Yeah, it's like how many things can you do to get rid of luck? If you are only running one copy of Neptibus and Mermails, then it's sort of your, then maybe you are relying on luck or something, I don't know.
I'm gonna have to draw this card.
You run 3 because you want to draw 3, and I feel like, you know, anybody who's arguing differently and saying like, oh, this Mermail player always gets lucky and draws his Neptibus. No, he runs 3 and like he runs 1 for 1. He runs Deep Sea Diva, so it's like 5 ways to get to Neptibus in the first turn, and if you have 5 copies of something, there's like a higher chance. It's math. It's
all
not,
math.
You know, and also even shuffling cards, right?
Yeah, I agree.
You know, some people say like, oh, you know, I got an unlucky shuffle, but like, I mean, a shuffle isn't luck, it's like randomization, right? Like, it's not really, you know, I wouldn't say that it's a luck thing. I just don't think that people who say there's luck in Yu-Gi-Oh! Are giving good players enough credit, right?
Yeah, because we do get that a lot. If somebody wins at a YCS or a big event, they were lucky or they sacked, or it's just never because they were a good player, they made the right plays, or their deck was built to the best of its abilities. There's always some other divine force that assisted them. I mean, and I'm gonna cut you. Just don't mean to cut you off.
No.
But another thing that goes along with that as well is a lot of people that top these big events are names that we know well because they've topped so many times. And I don't believe if there were a chance of luck, I don't believe anybody gets that lucky that many times in a row that they're going to continuously top over and over and over.
Right.
In these big events.
Right.
Let's be real.
Players don't get enough credit for it, I think. But like too many people, I think, are just sort of like content to say that these decks are like, they're good decks, but this player topped because he got lucky.
Yeah, he's sad.
You know, things like that. Even let's take it on a bigger scale, right? Someone might say like, well, Trell won this regional with this deck, but he just got lucky because he didn't run into like
his worst
matchup or whatever. But I mean, the truth is, like, whether you do or don't, you could say you got lucky and didn't run into, say, what's like Shiranui's like worst matchup. I don't know.
It's supposed to be Monarchs. But
let's say it's Monarchs, right? And like you didn't face any Monarch decks. It's really kind of one of those things where like you still prepared for Monarchs, though, right? You're
still prepared.
So if you had side decked cards for them, you know, you had whatever, I don't know what you side for Monarchs these days. Do they show up a lot anymore?
No, I don't.
Mask of Restrict?
I don't side Mask because of Solitaire. I side
Spell Fragrance or something?
Like Book of Eclipse and shit like that. Like, just stuff that, But yeah, if you prepare for the deck for your worst matchup, it's not luck.
It's not like, it no longer becomes a luck thing. Like, I hate when people lose an event, they say, oh, I got unlucky, I played Burning Abyss. Well, you were supposed to prepare for Burning Abyss.
You knew that was your bad matchup.
Yeah, or if you don't like playing Mermails because they out this thing that you do, then you prepare.
Right, you do something about it.
I don't believe in the idea of it. Good example, actually. Blue Eyes deck right here. I can't show it until I have that Ultra Upstart. But, you know. So, like, say I, like, draw, like, my opening 5 cards. Alright, here. You guys get to see this. This is my opening hand. I don't know how well you can see it. But the thing is, like... So I drew, like, cards of Constance and Whitestone, right? This isn't like luck. These are both in here to like work with each other, and there are multiple copies of them so that I see them together. So it's not like I'm running 1 Whitestone, 1 cards, 60 card deck. Hope I see them all. You know, like that's not how it goes. And so I hate to kind of be the Debbie Downer, but I just don't think that luck exists.
I don't either.
In almost any capacity. The closest we got in like a legal usable card was like what, 6 cents?
I think I was just gonna say that 6 cents would be the card that I would think about.
And even then, there's like some planning that goes into it. I mean, there's a reason people usually said like 5 and 6.
Yeah, I mean, the thing is, you prepared for it. You knew you were running 6 cents, so there was no luck involved. My thing is, either I'm going to draw or I'm going to mill. Either way it goes, I'm going to make sure that it works for me no matter which effect that I get.
Right. Yeah, you maximize chances.
Right, not luck. Once again, it's preparation.
You're sure you're rolling a die, so you don't know what's going to get rolled, but like, you say 5 and 6 for a reason.
Yeah, like, because in your mind, you are comfortable with whatever you get because you are prepared for this. So.
And I think that there really aren't any elements of Yu-Gi-Oh! That are, even if they're luck related, can't at least be interacted with by the opponent, right? Like, you know, if
Ice Barriers.
What? Wait, what?
That's a luck deck. I'm just kidding.
I don't even know. I really do think though, like, I mean, one more luck related thing. Randomized cards, like from your hand, like, you know, like Omega takes a random card, right? Yeah. Even that, like, you can influence that You play Omega, you know.
Oh, yes, I do.
People can look at your hand, you know, like if this is the card you most recently drew, if you search with Rhoda earlier this duel, like it's not just entirely a random thing. You can still make educated guesses, like on what card you're pulling out of your opponent's hand.
I've done that so many times. I mean, double Omega. I take 2 cards in hand, and they're always like, "Oh, you're so lucky. You got the exact card I needed for game." Nope, I just knew it.
Yeah, if you keep track, it's you know. Same with Pot of Duality or something, you know, if you hit these 3 cards and most people would think, oh, it's just luck what you get. Well, I mean, no, not really. There's a reason why people activate their search cards first.
Right.
I don't know. I can't think of anything that doesn't feel like it's got player influence involved. I mean, I'm trying, I'm reaching.
And it's bad because we sound so biased, but I mean, it's the truth actually.
I don't know. Prove us wrong.
I mean, that's right. It's not being biased. It might be though. I don't know.
You can prove me wrong. But you can think of, you know.
And I'm pretty sure we're gonna get a whole bunch of comments about people who stack and who cheat and all that. And we're not talking about cheaters and things like that.
We're assuming a world where no one cheats.
Yeah, I mean,
that could ever
because. If we're not, then this could be an argument that will never end, and we're not going to go there.
Yeah. I guess even if they're stacking, that's not luck. Then they're breaking the odds.
It's not luck. It's just breaking down the randomization. Yeah. So we're still not at the luck.
I don't believe luck's an excuse.
Not in Yu-Gi-Oh.
If you're using it, you're weak. That's an excuse. There isn't any. You know, there's not enough. Nothing you can exploit.
You get the people to say, "Oh, my deck crapped out on me. My deck it didn't like me today." Or
I hate those excuses.
And I'm not gonna say I've never said it, but I've never meant it. You know what I mean? I've never meant it when I said it. You know what I mean?
Right. And it's like the deck didn't have a good day, which isn't saying you were unlucky. That's just you didn't get good odds that day.
It's cards. I mean, so you should gotta think about that.
It's just odds. I don't know.
Once again, it's math.
I'm against that. So, prove me wrong.
Yes.
Prove us wrong. Tell us one thing. Tell us a luck part of this game that is just uncontrollable and your opponent can't do anything about. And you're not allowed to say those dice cards because no one plays those.
Yeah, we mean something that actually matters in the game.
You can't talk about coin flips and dice. That's if there's a reason no one plays them. So, you know, is there something, is the idea of top picking lucky? Is the idea of, duality or desires? I don't think there's any luck involved.
And not in those cards.
Desires especially has so much math that's gone into when people decide to play it.
You're banishing 10 cards that you may never get back. So, there's no luck there.
So, verdict, I don't think so. I think he's right. I don't think that there is no luck. There's chance.
There is chance.
There's chance. There are odds.
Yeah, but once again, that all goes back to math.
Yeah, I don't believe that.
Science.
Moral of the video: the heart of the cards doesn't exist.
Aliens.
Yeah, we've disproven the heart of the cards. That's cool. That's what I should call this video.
Disprove the heart of the cards.
Yeah, but they might not like.
We're just gonna call it "Fuck Yugi." That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, sorry.
Fuck Yugi. Like straight up.
Did any of the protagonists actually have a slogan that didn't have to do with just believing in what you draw?
Well, Pegasus did, but he can see the future. I mean, he can see the future. Yeah, he can see shit. So I mean.
Yeah, sorry. Heart of the card. Kaiba was right.
I was gonna say Kaiba. Yeah.
Kaiba was right. It's really just math and.
Kaiba, me fucking you up. That's as far as it's gonna go.
Hope that wasn't an unpleasant video to watch, but yeah. So moral of the story: don't blame luck for your losses. You can almost always mitigate it. You can even respond to the luck factors that your opponent might have. So don't do that. Accept your losses and build a better deck.
No such thing as luck.
Yeah. Anyways, let us know what you guys think. If you, like I said, if you can disprove me in the comments, please go ahead, or argue or something. I don't know, do something. Have fun. That's the vid. Give it a thumbs up if you liked it. Subscribe for more Yu-Gi-Oh! And I believe that's all we got to say about this topic.
It is. Team APS out.
Yeah. Bye, guys.
Peace.